So in this video, I will go through exactly what I would do if I would start over as a real estate agent today to get as much success as possible in the fastest period of time. My name is Nicklas Kling. I worked as a real estate agent for almost 5 years. I'm currently working at the #1 most selling firm in my whole area. So let's jump into it. So when you are a new real estate agent, we have a lot of things that we got to tackle. First of all, as we all know, we don't have to talk a lot about it, but we have no sales under our belt. We have absolute no name in the industry. So we are in a position where no one knows we exist. So we gotta figure out our way, the best way possible moving forward to get as much success as possible. So I would say that's really the problem that we gotta tackle here. So you have 0 sales, you have no name. So what are we going to do to get as much success as possible in the fastest period of time? So first of all, there are 2 main things that we would do. First of all, you can see here, it's really like building your own brand. I think this is so important. Like, I cannot emphasize this enough. And we just gotta do this. And what I really love about it and why we have 2 things that we're going to focus on, not just one, is because building your own personal brand online and in real life, that is going to take time. But there are ways of doing it while you over a longer period of time going to get insane results. So that's really the way I will go about it. And then the second thing is really, creating a short-term leads machine. So what we're going to do right here is that we're going to first focus on how are we going to make sure that we are creating a short-term leads machine. As I said, because if you're only focus on building a personal brand online, like, it's going to take a lot of time to get insane results. So we got to work with something that is going to get us, results in the short term, because we're fresh, we're new, we have 100% commission-based work. Like, we got to do something to pay the bills, right? So we want to get success as fast as possible, as my promise to you. So that's why I see it of, being very smart here and using the power of warm outreach. Because as I said, and I've talked about it many times on this channel before, there are really, only 4 ways of getting leads. So number 1 is really cold outreach. We have number 2, which is warm outreach. We have number 3, which is really paid ads. And then we have number 4, which is posting free content. So to make everything very simple here, what we're really going to do is that we're going to focus on number 2, and we're going to focus on number 4 here. So I think those are the 2 most deadly combinations. So if you start with this in the beginning of your career, or if you're watching this 3 months in, 6 months in, 12 months in, like, this is going to be insanely valuable for you anyways. But those are the 2 things that if I could go back in my career, I would double and triple down on these 2 things. Because a side thing that most agents unfortunately start with is that they start with number 1. So that's the only path that they see, and the firms that we work at is like, okay, well, you're new, you get a phone, like, here's a list, if you want to buy more lists, just do your thing, but you gotta make sure that you get leads. So usually they say that you should make cold calls. So I don't think that's a good strategy. It's not an efficient use of your time. So that's why I will double down on warm outreach. And as I said, like, this is a very good path of getting a lot of leads short term, and of course you can use this in the long term as well. So how I would go about this is very simple as well. So I would apply the rule of 100. If you have watched other videos of mine, you can see that a rule of 100 is something that I've talked about in previous videos of mine. And what this really means is that it makes things very simple as, okay, we're gonna use warm outreach, how much should we do, how often? There are many questions that comes to our minds, and even myself when I heard this concept the first time. So what we're really going to do here is that we're going to apply the rule of 100. So we're going to reach out to 100 people every single day. That's really the blueprint moving forward, and I want to make things as simple as possible. And you could argue and say that you should do this every single day, which is Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. But in the beginning, we gotta understand that this is something we're going to do for the long run. So all the people I talk with is that being a real estate agent is not a sprint. It's very much a marathon. So look at me now. Have been an agent for almost 5 years. I would say it's the last 2 years where things have really taken off. So it took me almost 3 years to getting some kind of very good success. So that is a lot of time. And I think the stats say that 70% of people quit within the first 2 to 3 years. So we gotta make a plan here that you can stick with and will give you good results in the short run, and make sure that you stick with it for a long run. So I will apply the rule of 100, and there might be some of you guys watching this and don't really know what I mean with warm outreach, so I'm actually going to explain for you as well. So I will just write a little bit down here. So a warm outreach, it really means that you are contacting people that knows that you already exist and that might not be many people if you're a new real estate agent, but bear with me here, there are people that knows that you exist. So this is exactly what I would do, and it's different for every single people, but I'm going to explain this in this most simple manner. So first of all, warm outreach, that means that we're going to contact people that already knows that you exist. That's the first thing. And how I would go about it is that, well, okay, do I know anyone that lives in this area? So that's the first thing. Yes or no. If the answer is yes, contact them, say they're a new agent, give them some kind of offer, X, Y, and Z. And the best part that you can do as well is that you can leverage that person. So if you know that person and they live in the area, there's high likelihood that they know people as well. So you can contact them, and if you're super smart, you don't ask for them to sell with you. You ask them for people that they know in the area that might find the service that you provide to be very valuable. And you can also make sure that you have an agreement, which is if they refer people in the area to sell with you, they get some kind of cash bonus. So I think that is a very smart way to go about it. The second way that I think is the most smart way as well is that there might not be a lot of people in the area you're going to sell homes in the beginning that knows that you exist. So what are you going to do? Well, you're going to leverage the brand you work for. So if you're smart enough, you picked a place to work at that has a good history in the area of selling a lot of homes. So that's the smartest move you can do, is that when you're new, you want to leverage a big brand to build your own brand. That's the way I see it. So what we can do then is that we are going to make sure that you are going to call a lot of people that is already in the CRM system. So I will give you a few examples here. First of all, I think the absolute golden nuggets, if you get approval for contacting this type of people, it's, I don't have the best handwriting here, but first of all, I would say buyers. So people that have bought from the firm, over the years. This is a treasure map. If you are able to contact your colleagues' old buyers, I think that is an absolute golden thing to do. So look through them all, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, 6 years back. If you just go through it, if you get your approval, well, you have a lot of people to start contacting. And usually your hit rate here is very, very high, because most likely they have bought an apartment from your firm, they have a good experience from doing that, and you call as a service asking if there's anything you can help, and maybe booking a first appointment with them. So I think that is a very, very smart way to go about it. The second thing I would do as well, and this is a very hidden gem from my side, and it's actually something that I have been getting a lot of results from very recently as well. And that is contacting people that have been at your open houses, years back. So what happens by this as well is that it's people that are in the market, because there are people renting, there are people that are never going to sell their home if you're only working in cold outreach. So That's why, and I will call this, previous clients that have been on open houses. So I think this is an absolute gem as well. There's a lot of people, and if you are in a big firm that sells, hundreds of homes each year, let's say you have in average 10 people on every single listing that gets sold, you have 100 homes sold in a year. Well, just there you have 1,000 people. So that would be enough for roughly 2 weeks of warm outreach, and there should be a lot of leads hiding in that list. So those are the things that I would really start with. What else do we have? Simple things as well as leads, and on the major platforms when you're selling apartments, there are a lot of people that they want to get a notice as soon as the apartment gets sold. So in Swedish it's called really getting a lead. So what it is that you have a listing out, they opt in to get the end price when the apartment is sold. So usually there they agree on the realtor or real estate agent get contacted them, or you can contact them when the apartment is sold. So that is a very smart thing to go and use as well. And I will call this for leads. So this is just some examples from my side. I'm not going to keep on rambling about this any longer. I think you get the point. Contact people that, first off, already know that you exist. Secondly, contact people that already knows that the firm you work for exists. So this is really the way I would go about it. I would contact 100 people every single day. Do as much warm outreach as you can, because that's really where the fastest money are and the fastest success to get as much leads as possible. And I want to define success as well. In my eyes, is getting as many new listings as possible and making sure that as many of them get sold as fast as possible as well. Because when you're new, you want to get as much momentum as you can as fast as possible. And next one, we are having building your own personal brand. Let me see here. And this is very important as well. So if you work with these two, like from my side, this is the best thing you can do to get as much success as possible in the fastest period of time, and making sure that you set yourself up in a way that will give you a lot of success in the long term. As you can see on the graph here as well, this is really the way I see warm outreach is capped. Building a personal brand will just give you insane benefits the longer the time goes. And the way I would go about this as well is that I know that when you're new, you have a lot of things to do. There's so many new things to learn. So I will give you two paths here. You can either apply the rule of 100, which is on top of contacting 100 people every single day from warm outreach, you're going to use 100 minutes every single day to creating content as well. I think this is what I would do. And you might say, well, this takes a lot of time to contacting 100 people, and it takes a lot of time for me to spend 100 minutes on creating content. But this is really what I would do. So, and if you say like, well, okay, there's so many things I have in my head. Well, like start with 50 minutes every single day. And when you feel confident enough, bump it up to 100 minutes. But this is the way I will go about it. And as I said in this video, I have a big promise, and that is to get you as much successes in the shortest period of time. And with these things, to make sure that you get as much success as possible over the long run as well. And to be as crystal clear as possible, because I really like that just the way I am. And that is to make some kind of blueprint moving forward. As you can see here, my lovely handwriting. I want to talk about a blueprint. So what I would do to be crystal clear moving forward, and feel free to print screen this and save this for on your what I know iPhone background or something. But I will contact 100 people 5 days a week at minimum. If the more days you do it, like the better. But I will stick with it Monday to Friday as if your life is over if you don't contact 100 people every single day. That's the first thing I would do. Because this will give you a lot of success. Like, mark my words, this will give you a lot of success. And then secondly of all, as I said, number 2, what I would do is to spend at least 50 minutes every single day posting free content. And what I mean with making content, posting free content is very simple. Is that you pick a social media platform. It could be Instagram, LinkedIn, TikTok, whatever you prefer, right? My suggestion would be Instagram, because I think it's just the best platform for real estate agents to build their brands in my eyes. And then number 2, I would start posting things on that platform. So the 50 minutes that you are using every single day, Monday to Friday, you are going to use that into posting things. And I've talked about it in other previous videos of mine. What you're going to post? Well, you're going to post things that is valuable for your potential clients. That's it. And what would happen here is, to give you some kind of reference point, is that if you spend 50 minutes every single day, you should post at least 3 to 5 times a week. I think that is very reasonable to have as some kind of ballpark of where you should be aiming, so you don't spend 50 minutes every single day and you just post 1 post a week. If that is you in the beginning, you have no experience of putting content out there on social media, by all means, do your thing. With time, you will start to get better, you get faster, you understand the game a little bit better, so over time you will be able to post more content. So this is really how I go about it. I'm very sorry for my bad writing skills here, or painting skills, but I think this is the most crystal clear plan I have. And as I said in the beginning, if I would start over today as a real estate agent, this is exactly what I would do. And now don't forget to watch this video, where you understand why you must stop being a consumer and start being a producer if you want to become truly successful in life.